Hello, hello. Hopefully my teeth aren't too brown. That sounds horrible, but I just tasted some dark chocolate, some milk chocolate before I recorded this. So, because if you guys didn't know, before a workout, if you eat dark chocolate, milk chocolate, I think it's milk chocolate and dark chocolate only. Ooh, sorry. Your pump will be a little better. It's not, I mean, for me, it doesn't always help with that case, but it sometimes does. Like, I can definitely feel a difference, but that just could be the workout itself that's different or something. Maybe I'm just squeezing a little extra hard or something, but I'm taking no chances on getting a better pump. I want to get a better pump always, you know? But we're sipping on this Rain energy drink today. We got the rainbow sherbet. Definitely the best flavor. Or it's the orange dreamsicle or whatever it's called. That's really good too. But today for the program, it's gonna be back and biceps, maybe a little bit of shoulders. Maybe. I might include that. But yeah, definitely back and biceps. Not really focused more on anything. But for the longest time, I was doing back training wrong, and I was hitting my back, but not as effectively. And in these, you know, kind of years I've been doing it, it's kind of like weird that I've been training for years back wrong, because I kind of train not like David Lade in a way. Yeah, I train like David Lade in a way, where he didn't know how to fully hit his back and he didn't keep his shoulder blades back. I did the exact same stuff. I didn't keep my shoulder blades back for a little while, so I wasn't really getting the best like squeeze in it. Like, the stretch was always super nice and super good when I was doing like rows or something, but when it came to trying to think, like when I'm doing like for my mid back or like my upper, like my lower traps, I could never get a good squeeze ever. Like, and I would get an okay pump maybe sometimes from like lat pull downs, and I would always feel lat pull downs, but when it came to rows, unless it was whatchamacallit, like lat rows, like a neutral grip, I think that's what it's called, a neutral grip, I would always feel it super well in my lats, but I would never feel it super well in my like traps or my mid back or anything else. So what I started doing is I just started really just pulling my shoulder blades back and then rowing, because what I would usually just do before is like just like this and not this, you know. There's a big difference. Like, you'll just feel it a lot more. So if you guys are having a difficult time with back training, for one, you might be a beginner, and two, once you build that mind muscle connection, back will become one of your favorite things to train. Because training back without any mind muscle connection has to be one of the top 5 bottom experiences in the gym. Because it's like, a back pump feels great, right? You feel like a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle. But also, when you don't feel a squeeze versus when you do feel a squeeze, there's something about certain mind muscle connections for me that feel crazy. Like, if I feel a super crazy mind muscle connection, my biceps, I love that. If I feel it on my chest, I love it. If I feel it on my back, I love it. You know, everything else, yeah, I want to feel my muscle connection, obviously, because that's how you build muscle, right? And the tricky thing about my muscle connection is you don't only want to strive for my muscle connection, you also want to strive for weight too. But the thing is about that, you don't only want to strive for weight. If you want to build muscle, you want to also strive for my muscle connection, you know. And that's the super tricky, weird part about it all, because you have to find an even balance between those. But the thing is always, like, I mean, everyone has an ego, right? You're like, man, I could definitely lift heavier weight. Maybe you shouldn't, right? Because you're going to neglect your mind muscle connection and not really get a good feel for it, which is what I used to do for back training a lot, and I never really used to get a great feel. I wanted to just kind of move weights and just kind of do that sort of thing, you know? But I've really come to realize how much more important just like getting that feeling is. Like I've known for everything else. Like legs have always come easy to get a feel in. Like it always burns, and I always get a great contraction and great stretch for hamstrings, quads, calves, or whatever. Sometimes calves a little harder, but always, you know. And abductors, because my mobility for my abductors isn't the best. So when I try to do abductors, if I go too far out, it like pops my groin and doesn't feel good, and just, you know, just not fun stuff, you know. But yeah, for my legs, I've always had a great contraction. But for my like upper body, it's more like I feel my arms a lot. My triceps have always been the best, my muscle connection. Like every time I want to do triceps, I feel them. Like there's not a way where I don't feel triceps if I'm trying to target them, you know. So fortunately, I have good genetics for that. Triceps, but kind of ranting, going off about whatever not. So we're gonna just get right into it. Back and bye, baby. Let's go. All right. There wasn't much commentating or talking during that video, but I genuinely wanted to just have a good lift. It was a decent lift. Like, I definitely could have had a better lift. I don't know for any particular reason, but, you know, maybe some better components, maybe different exercise variations or whatnot. The thing about just having a tripod in the gym, and that's my biggest thing with this YouTube stuff, is I just don't want to get in people's way. I don't want to record 20 different people, and I don't want to be in the middle of the gym. So I kind of have to restrict myself on certain exercises because I don't want to, you know, get everybody on the internet, you know, because I know a lot of people don't like being on the internet, for one, because maybe they think they're doing something that doesn't look as appealing, you know. And it's like, if you're on the internet and you get called out for something, it's usually for something stupid, right? Either it doesn't matter or you're just actively doing something that you probably shouldn't, you know. But other than that, I mean, it's just the internet. At the end of the day, these people, I mean, I can't say these people, right? Because you guys are my audience and everything. But the thing is, I don't, like, if I was on the internet, I would laugh at myself too. I don't care how I appeal mainly on the internet, right? I want to have a community of people who like me for who I am, like a friend, you know? Like, I want to have friends, you know? I want to make a community of friends. I want to make a little village, you know? And the thing is, the thing about all the haters and everything that people worry about, they don't matter. Because usually it's just little gremlins that stay in their parents' basements for the rest of their life and they just have nothing going on for themselves. So, I mean, does it really matter? No. But lift today was decent. Pump was mid. I don't know, man. I need to get my own warehouse gym so I can record with a big tripod so you guys can get the best angles. And I need to have a room with the best lighting so I can look the best I can. Because my body dysmorphia was kind of going a little crazy for a second. And then I was like, okay, I don't look horrible, you know? I want to be leaner. That's the thing. Like, I've cut and I feel like I just haven't got much leaner. Like, everything has gotten more detailed. My waist has gotten a lot smaller. My abs are starting to appear a little bit more. But the only thing that's mainly making me mad is my lower stomach. Like, my 6-pack abs, they're not there. I have a 4-pack sometimes. Now I always do. But I want that 6-pack look. Or at least I want to get rid of that kind of, that fat in this area right down there. But on terms of a lift today, I already said it was okay. Could have been better, but it is what it is. We already got the lift done. No shoulders today, obviously. I didn't do anything off camera, like any less sets, any more sets or anything. So, yeah, I mean, how have you guys been doing, you know? I've just been chilling, you know? I've been kind of just doing my own thing and everything. And there's one thing about what Sam Sulek said was, am I doing my sets like how I would do them on camera? And that's a good question. And honestly, some people train less hard on camera, which I I have done sometimes, and I catch myself, I'm like, what am I doing, bro? I'm just wasting my time at this point then. So that's when you really got to kick it in. Okay, there's a quote by Michael Beasley that is the hardest quote I've ever heard, and I've incorporated in all my training sessions and a lot of things I do. And it is, if you can tell me why you lost, you did it on purpose. And what that means, if you can't really comprehend that, is basically, if you lost or you didn't do as good as you wanted, you know exactly why you did. You knew subconsciously in your head why you lost in the first place, and you just did that on purpose. Because if you genuinely wanted to win, you would have fixed that, right? For me, in a circumstance of losing, it would be a bad lift. Okay, yeah, there's not always going to be 100% intensity days, but let's say, hey, I'm doing legs, and I just, legs already takes a lot of mindset and mentality. So it's like, hey, this day sucked. I had to do legs too. I can't, this sucks, whatever. If I go into the gym, right, with a bad attitude, I got to use that bad attitude to really use that and put that to the sets, and I just lost my train of thought. Oh yeah, so pretty much every excuse that you have is just an excuse. And you can't just keep piling excuses on excuses on excuses, because at the end of the day, it's on you. No one cares if you get that extra lift in. Nobody cares. Honestly, people would rather you be fat, just like them. So they have someone to relate to, right? But the thing is, you got to understand is you got to work hard, 10 times harder than everybody else around you. You got to lead by example, because, why would you want to be just simple and plain? For me personally, I want an extraordinary life. So if I just every day half-ass my whole day, I would know in my head that I half-assed it, right? So, okay, I know exactly why I did it. I lost. Because I half-assed my day. If I just incorporated 50% more, it'd be full-assed, if that makes sense. But pretty much what I'm trying to say is, just work your fucking hardest, man, in everything. And evenly split your energy. That's one big thing I've had to learn, is protect your energy. Protect who you are and your soul. I used to just waste my time a lot on just things that don't matter at all to me, and I didn't really care for. And it caught up to me pretty bad. I would just waste my time on stupid stuff. And they weren't always even bad things. Like recently, it's been basketball. And you might be thinking, how is basketball bad? How is basketball bad for you? Basketball's not a bad thing. Well, for me, I have an addictive personality. And the thing is, I do it on the worst time. Yesterday, I wore my dunks to work, which I got in trouble for, right? And I wasn't able to bring my protein bars or anything. I still was able to get 200 plus grams of protein in that day and all my carbs and everything in. But the thing is, that wouldn't have happened if I used my time appropriately and I was more disciplined. And that's the thing I'm learning still at a ripe age of 19 years old, is discipline and time management, which is my biggest thing. It's just time management. I try to do my best as a person to really just pursue my goals and have a balance of everything, but it's hard to. Me and my dad, we talked about balance and how he does it, and he was like, there's really no ideal way of balancing things. It's kind of on you to figure that out for yourself, right? Because his experience with life is going to be way different from mine. We were talking about him being a dad, and I'm like, how did you balance a family and work and your own hobbies and everything? He's like, I don't know. It's kind of crazy, So, but I think, in my personal opinion right now, what I want in my life is I want to pursue my bodybuilding. I want to continue making as much money as I can. I want to marry the girl I'm with right now, Delaney. And I want to continue my social media. I want to keep rising up on my social media. I want to keep getting a following, a community. Those are the main ones right now. And then some side stuff is just get a lot leaner. So incorporate. I'm going to make this a little shorter because my phone died. Or it didn't die, but it overheated, so it might overheat again. But pretty much, those are my main goals in life. Side goals will just be, like I said, get leaner for my bodybuilding and myself. And then just mainly just keep my friends and family close to me. So that's really it, y'all. I hope you guys have a good rest of your day. And keep on